happens when a slave becomes a king? First thing, he don't know how to sit on the throne. His back is bent from the whips, his eyes look for the master. His hands still shake when nobody's yelling. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He forgives like a slave, but rules like he's still forgiven. He builds palaces with prison habits. He wears the crown sideways, cause crowns don't fit on necks trained to bow. You call me nobody, train me for the field. Broke my name in the furnace, said you'll never heal. But God whispered one thing, to know me and to knowing him. The slave died and the king cried, I am. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He sets other slaves free. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He burns the whip he was beat with, yeah. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He remembers the dungeon, so the palace don't have dungeons. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He knows God, so he becomes God. He's the heart of God. That's the one thing! Joseph was a slave, threw him in the pit. Sold him for silver, called him a nobody. Prison taught him silence, shh, the still. But God taught him one thing, know me in the dark. So when Pharaoh said rule, he didn't rule like Pharaoh. Rule like a slave who remembered the bread and the famine, the forgiveness and the betrayal, the I am in the prison. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He feeds the brothers who sold him. So you are no longer a slave, but God's child. And since you are his child, God has made you also an heir. But heirs who think like slaves build churches with whips in the basement. Heirs who forget the pit, dig new pits for other nobodies. Jesus got forsaken, so you remember the forsaken. When you're on the throne, that's the one thing, to know God, so you don't become God over people he died for. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He bleeds for his enemies. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He weeps in the palace. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He leaves the door open cause he remembers the door slammed on. What happens when a slave becomes a king? He does the one thing, he knows God, and God keeps him human on the throne. Trained me to be nobody. You crowned yourself king. You taught me to bow, and God taught me I am. What happens when a slave becomes a king? I don't forget the pit, I don't build new pits, I don't become you. I do one thing, I know God, and because I know him, I set you free too. Even you, king, especially you. Cause even Jesus got forsaken, so no slave stays a slave when they meet the king.